fiends that.
Trying to make rent, I was never home. Digital skills and a second phone. Blue cheese plants on my cheddar grow. Moved a little snow, that ain't nothing but the weather code. Hot-headed, but you better know I lead my team to the win like Keane into rim with that header though. I raised broke, so I really need some better goals. Instead of just dreams to share sheets with centerfolds. Still have nightmares of letting metal blow. Got a couple brothers on the wing in that Beckham roll. Guess I turned an L to a lesson, bro. Cause I lost a lot of brothers that are looking on from heaven. So I'm lucky pouring liquor as I live another episode. Lungs looking like my liver lately. But I'm in love with this loud that I'm getting though. I set pace, listen out for the metronome.
Oh my fucking God, man. You know what? Yeah, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Whole city. You know what it is now, yeah? You know what it is? For me, first and foremost, am I happy Michael Carrick's the manager? I am. I'm happy Michael Carrick's the manager. I think he was the right choice. And again, I'm not going to come on here and I'm not going to start slating Michael Carrick because since Carrick's coming from last season, you know, amassed the most points of any manager since he came into the league last season when he took over from that absolute clown Ruben Amorim. And pre-season, you know, some good football we're seeing. Again, I didn't watch all the games, but from some of the highlights I see, there was some impressive stuff in there. The signings that have been made, again, I'm happy with the signings of Tielemans, Andre Santos, and then Carlos Baleba coming in as well. So again, those are the positives for me. What Carrick's done since he's come to the club, how the team have been performing, and the signings, you know. But what I want to talk about, yeah, what I want to understand, because let's face it, that game today was nothing short of an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment, you know. And big up to Exedra, because Exedra said the lineup that Carrick done, he wasn't sure of the lineup, you know. And I said the team that he played, I kind of expected that anyway. But there's a couple of things I want to touch on, yeah, because I hate to say, yeah, that, you know, I was right on the Baleba signing. I told you guys that Baleba was definitely coming to Manchester United. And guys, I'm going to be right on Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. And I don't give a damn who wants to say anything to me about it. Yeah. You see Michael Carrick here, top footballer in his day. And again, I believe he's going to be a top coach. Yeah. But I have to say, he is going down the same line as it seems so far with the likes of Erik ten Hag, Ruben Amorim, even Jose Mourinho. For some reason, yeah, I don't know what it is. It seems to be an infection of Manchester United managers. I need to understand what is the fascination with Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. I tweeted something out, yeah, and I said, this is the Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes show yet again. Two players, yeah, that are the two highest earners at the club. You know, 625 grand between them a week. One of them was on loan, you know, and again, this ain't to get on to Rashford, but one of them was on loan. He's come back, and yet again, we're having to see Bruno and Rashford share the pitch yet again, and we're going back to the Bruno and Rashford show. Yeah. Let's talk about that first half, because that first half was an embarrassment. And I'll tell you one thing, yeah. Why is it that no one seems to be looking at the fact that how does anyone expect the front four of Bruno Fernandes, Matthias Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, Patrick Dorgu? Why the hell is that ever going to work in football? I need someone to come and tell me if you think that front four is acceptable. I need someone to come and tell me, because for so many times, yeah, I keep saying that front four needs to have balance in there. It needs to have balance. When I'm seeing a front four of Cunha, who's a maverick and is a number 10, he's playing false 9 or he's playing off of the right in that first half. I prefer Dorgu at left back personally, you know, and obviously, but Carrick prefers him further forward. Embuemo as well on the right or through the middle in the first half, and then you've got Bruno Fernandes in the 10. Someone tell me, yeah, how the hell do you expect to keep possession of the ball? Because that first half was embarrassing. And again, it's not just on those four. The whole team was below par. But when you've got a front four like that, there's no creativity in there. People tell me that Bruno Fernandes is the most creative player in Europe. That's a complete lie. Because if you know how creativity is counted in this era, you wouldn't be coming out with that nonsense. Yeah? And then you've got Embuemo. For me, I don't think he's good enough, by the way. I don't think he's good enough. I never thought he was good enough, but he does get goals. You know, he's not someone that wants to keep possession. Cunha's a maverick. Yeah. And then you've got Patrick Dorgu, who, to be honest with you, Dorgu for me, as I said, I prefer him at left back as an overlapping left back because it's quite obvious here that Luke Shaw is a waste of time and has been for ages. Good, he's good on the ball, Luke Shaw, but in terms of what fullbacks offer, he don't offer that no more. Look at Hull City's fullback. Ryan Giles, his name was. Ryan Giles. Look at what he was doing at fullback. Look at the quality of his crossing. But I need to understand, yeah, why is it that this front four, that Carrick was a footballer, yeah? Why is it that Carrick chooses to play this front four? Why? Anyone can tell you this front four is not going to work. There's no quality in there. And you know what makes me laugh, yeah? You know what makes me laugh? Patrick Dorgu, since Carrick has come in, has been one of Man United's best players. One of Man United's best players. Today, granted, he wasn't great in the first half. You know, maybe he was overdoing it. I don't know. But you see the cowardness of Michael Carrick, in my opinion, yeah? Because you scapegoated Patrick Dorgu to bring on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. I'm hearing someone on Twitter tell me that Marcus Rashford is going to save Carrick from his job today. This is the kind of bollocks that you're hearing on a regular basis. Marcus Rashford will come on and save Carrick. How did that work out? Yeah? And the fact that Patrick Dorgu was the fall guy, I don't rate Rashford for that. Because why is it that Bruno Fernandes stays on the pitch? Why did Embuemo stay on the pitch? Why did Cunha stay on the pitch? But Dorgu comes off. Why is that? You know, arguably, yeah, one of our best players, you know, either in pre-season or last season before he got injured, and all of a sudden, Marcus Rashford's back, and he comes on at half-time for Dorgu. Was Rashford any better than Dorgu? No. He probably just a bit more direct, but he didn't offer nothing. And guys, I want people to clock onto as well, yeah, because you will get people that are now going to start crashing it on Yuri Tillemans, yeah? Yes, Yuri Tillemans wasn't great today. He wasn't great, yeah? But let me tell you this for free. People that want to get onto Yuri Tillemans is only going to be doing that to defend Bruno Fernandes. That's all it's going to be about. If you want to criticize Yuri Tillemans, you're only going to be doing that to protect Bruno Fernandes. Because I told you guys already, yeah? Yuri Tillemans can play with Bruno Fernandes because Yuri Tillemans is intelligent. But the facts are, yeah, you've got a player in Yuri Tillemans that can offer what Bruno Fernandes does. He's a better passer of the ball than Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. He's better in possession. The difference is Yuri Tillemans, when you're playing him in a double pivot, he hasn't got the legs to get around the pitch. So to protect him, just play him forward one and drop Bruno Fernandes. So he can be getting into the spaces that Bruno can't get into and keep the ball moving. You know, am I surprised Man United got beat today? I'm surprised because I'm looking at a promoted team in Hull City and I'm thinking we should be wiping the floor with them, regardless if we're playing away from home. But then when you look at the fact that you've got a midfield, yeah, a midfield of Andre Santos and Tillemans, I'm not too dissatisfied with the balance there. I'm not too dissatisfied with the balance there. Yeah. But why is it the two new signings come off and Bruno stays on, regardless if he's captain or not? And these are the things that I want to look at Carrick here and say, Carrick needs to sort this out. Carrick needs, because for me personally, and guys, I will get back onto your comments and questions after. For me personally, we're now signing. We've now got Carlos Baleba over the line. We got Baleba, Tillemans, Kobe, Andre Santos, Bruno Fernandes, that all play in that central area. There is no way in hell Michael Carrick can continue playing Bruno Fernandes 90 minutes in every game. No way. Not when you have when you have other options in midfield that can get games. There's no way Bruno should be playing every week. It's embarrassing. 90 minutes again. And what did he do? Yeah. I'm not even going to get onto the fact that Joshua Zirkzee didn't come on the pitch, because I actually think, Carrick made the decision to not bring Zirkzee on because the game didn't really call for Zirkzee. Because I think if you look at that first half, you need players probably that did running behind, which is why he brought on Rashford for 1v1, which is why he brought on Sesko. And again, guys, I know Sesko hasn't been playing, but I've already told you, Sesko's not good enough to be starting for Manchester United week in, week out. He's not. He doesn't possess the ability to hold the ball and bring others into play. He's better as an impact sub. Yeah. So I'm not even. I'm concerned that Zirkzee didn't come on, but I can only look at it and say, that it's because the game wasn't a game for Joshua Zirkzee. You know, he brought on Shea Lacey, which again, I like Shea Lacey, but you're bringing Shea Lacey on for pitiful minutes. Like it's pointless. It's pointless doing that for me personally, if I'm honest. You know, but that game today was shocking. It was shocking. You had players misplacing passes. You had players miscontrolling the ball. I actually thought our best player was probably Mazraoui. But why are we surprised? Because Mazraoui is very consistent. He's very consistent. But 2-0 against Hull City. Again, I'm not gonna go overboard and start saying Carrick out and all this other stuff, because it's pointless. I'm just purely saying, what is this team moving forwards? Because I'll tell you this for free, if we're gonna go back to Rashford and Bruno, and it's gonna be the Rashford and Bruno show, then quit the season right now. Quit the season right now. Because never did I believe that we're gonna see Rashford and Bruno as back in the team, and already it's looking like the Rashford and Bruno show. Because I thought we're meant to be going forwards as a club. It's absolutely embarrassing what happened today. Hull City. And I tell you this as well, guys, and you've heard it here first. Do not think next week, because we're at home against Ipswich, do not think that's going to be an easy game. So I'm telling you this now, they have got attackers that will cause us problems. Abdul Fatawu, Julio Enciso, Dazen Maida. Those three in particular will cause United problems if United turn up this way at home against Ipswich next week. They will cause problems. Embarrassing. Let me go through some of your questions and comments. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're subbing to the channel as well if you're new in here. Bruno needs to get lost, not going to lie. Listen, before anyone comes in and says, oh, why you always get onto Bruno, this isn't just solely on Bruno Fernandes, But people need to wake up and realize, that this guy's a massive problem to the football club. He is a massive problem. I'll keep saying it until the day he leaves. He is a massive problem. People want to argue with me and tell me Bruno does his job, Bruno gets goals, Bruno does this, he does that. Bruno's a massive problem to this club, because new signings either don't play or they have to come off so he stays on the pitch because he takes the set pieces and he might just toss the ball into the area. This is part of the problem. He's a massive problem for this football club. People ain't going to realize this or ain't going to listen, but there's an old saying there. Those that don't hear will feel. And as long as Bruno Fernandes keeps playing 90 minutes every week, do not expect this club to do anything. You've already seen Yuri Tillemans, yeah? Yuri Tillemans didn't look good today, yeah? But he's playing in midfield, yeah, with Bruno Fernandes, which don't help him. Because Bruno's afforded the license to do what I believe Tillemans wants to do. So, again, like, I'm not going to get too much into this because I'm just bored of it. Because I hate to say I told you so. I hate to say I told you so. Bro, what are your thoughts about Bernardo Silva, Ibrahima Konate? Yeah, they're both at Real Madrid, man. Both on free transfers. It's decent business from Real Madrid. You can't even lie. It's decent business. I'm just fed up, man. I'm fed up of the same old shit, man. Gav, some people are so deluded they even think Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha is a sensational frontline because of goals. It won't work. But this is the point I keep making to people, yeah? And this is a great comment, Atro. Great comment, yeah? You see that front three, Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha? That front three, along with having a Bruno Fernandes in the 10, it will never work in football. Never work. And I guarantee there's a lot of people that don't even know why it won't work. But that front three is an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace in a sense because you've got no one there that can connect the midfield and the attack. If you've got Sesko playing, yeah, Sesko is a player that wants to play on the shoulder. Yeah, Mbeumo and Cunha are two players from out wide that need to connect with a front man like a Joshua Zirkzee, because Zirkzee wants to drop in deep and connect the play. But that front three will never work. But there's people out there that won't even realize why it won't even work. You know, it's just brain dead. And then when you top that off with having a Bruno Fernandes in the 10, it's a bad front four because there's not one player there that is interested in keeping possession. How do you expect to build attacks in your final third when you've got the majority of your front players that don't want to keep the ball? Sesko prefers playing on the shoulder. He prefers long balls. The same with Mbeumo. Cunha is a maverick in a sense. And for Bruno to look better, he has to play the long balls into the channels. That's never going to work as a front line. I'm bored of saying the same thing. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Yeah, listen, Arsenal fans, you can chuck it on us today. I don't even mind. You know, listen, you guys won 3-0 yesterday against Coventry. You done what you were supposed to do at home. Although, you know, was it a helping hand by Coventry? I think a couple of the goals definitely were. But listen, I can't even talk really. Man United were a disgrace today, and I have to hold that one today. But I'm just sick and tired because Michael Carrick, yeah, I rate him as a coach. I rated him highly as a footballer. But what he's doing on the pitch in terms of his selection of players, it goes against everything that he was as a player. Because you cannot tell me that Michael Carrick prefers to play a front four of what was on show today. I'm not believing that. You know, I'm just not believing that. That today was an absolute embarrassment. And Hull City thoroughly deserved the win, by the way. You know, they had more chances as well, I believe. Man United's best chance, I think, came from Cunha playing the ball through to Mbeumo. And then the keeper making a save. I think that was their best chance. And then we result to putting Harry Maguire through the middle and looking for headers. I mean, yeah, I'm just fed up, man. It's just the same old shit that we keep seeing. The same pattern. Bring in an old Man U manager, have a first good season, then drop off. Hopefully it's just a blip. Yeah, listen, I think anyone that thinks that, you know, it's it's the same old. I think that's premature. End of the day, it's not a good start against Hull City by any means. Yeah. And as I said, I'm not gonna come out here and start saying, get rid of Michael Carrick, he ain't good enough, this and that. For me, this is a selection problem. It's a selection problem because the fact that you've got, and I'm gonna touch on the midfield especially, yeah, because the midfield, we've got enough midfielders now that can play in a free without having that number 10 there, like Bruno, who's careless, to do something serious, providing you've got the attack right. There was no Ahmad today either, which was a massive miss because Ahmad would have started the game had he have been fit, but he wasn't even in the squad because he adds the possession factor for the front line. So again, I'm not going to come on here and say Carrick out. I just want Carrick to learn from what he's chosen from today's lineup. Because I'll tell you this, yeah, if Michael Carrick goes into the Ipswich game with the same lineup, which I don't think he does, by the way, because he'll learn, then I'll start looking at him differently. I'll have to be honest. But again, Carrick's not going to play the same lineup. He's not. He won't play the same lineup for sure. Big up to Foxy Danny as well. Big up yourself each and every time. Are we still competing for the league? Listen, it's been one game, man. I think let's just take it with let's just take caution, man. It's been one game. So again, if you're someone that's saying no chance, I can't even blame you. Honestly, I can't even blame you. But what I would say, is today was disappointing. It was proper disappointing, man. Like, I didn't expect Man United. Even my prediction, I said United 3-0. We got beat 2-0. Embarrassing. Like, I don't even know what to say, man. I'm lost for words, man, because that was a poor performance. And listen, Carrick today, for me, he deserves the criticism. No doubt he deserves it because his team selection, even his substitutions, it's like taking off Dorgu in the second half, start of the second half. I'm not going to say you're going to lose Dorgu, but if I'm Dorgu, I'm thinking, so Marcus Rashford's back now, and the first opportunity you get, you just throw Rashford back into the team. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if you're Patrick Dorgu, you should be looking at it that Carrick's really done you over on that one, because Dorgu's been good. He has. He's very aggressive in the press as well on that left-hand side. Again, I prefer Dorgu playing left back. But the fact that Rashford's now come back and then Dorgu just finds himself coming off the bench, coming off the pitch in the second half. If you're Dorgu, you're looking at Michael Carrick and saying already, like, what's my future here? Because Luke Shaw plays left back. Rashford's the highest earner. Where do I actually figure in this team now? If you're Patrick Dorgu, you should be thinking like that. So I don't know, man. What went wrong today, Gav? Listen, team selection. I think United were getting out-battled, out-muscled, lack of quality in the final third. Defensively, weren't sharp. Even though the two goals that Hull scored, I mean, the first one, Lamens almost saved it. But if you're being critical, you can say the defense, or whoever was in the box, was on their toes, not reacting. Should have been proactive rather than reacting to it. The second one, I don't think you can blame anyone on that, really, because the ball that was put into the box, the amount of pace that was put into there, is very difficult for anyone to kind of deal with that. I heard people moan at Harry Maguire for not commanding his box. I think that's just easy to say. At the end of the day, that was a great ball into the box, and it was a good header. So there's not much you can do about that. But two set pieces is what we got beat by, really, which is it's annoying. United in relegation zone. Yep. I should think we should be after getting beat 2-0 when a lot of the games ain't kicked off yet. I'm a believer. Listen, I think today showed you, what Baleba's going to bring to this team. Because And guys, I want to say this as well, yeah. Andre Santos, yeah. There's gonna be fans. There's gonna be people getting onto Andre Santos. You know, I've already seen someone say, "Oh, how comes this the Premier League season start and Santos is poor? Maybe that's the reason why he was on the bench for Chelsea." So we're just gonna disregard his pre-season, and then one game, it's time to start crashing it on Andre Santos. This is what you're gonna get, unfortunately. You know, but what I would say is that Baleba, you know, I'd prefer to see Baleba in that midfield. I've already told you what my preferred midfield should be. Baleba and Kobe, and then Yuri Tillemans in the 10. Or better yet, just play a 3, and between Andre Santos, Baleba, Yuri Tillemans, Kobe Manu in a 3, let them work it out who's going to play. It's as simple as that. We need to go away, yeah, from this Bruno Fernandes playing every week. We need to go away from that. I'd much rather see Bruno Fernandes play out on the right-hand side. And if he wants to spam crosses in, cool. But in that midfield area, he's a massive problem. He's a massive problem. And the fact that Yuri Tillemans has come to the club, Yuri Tillemans can do what Bruno does. But he's not going to be afforded that license as long as Bruno's in the team. Crazy. Where's Camavinga? Yeah, listen, it's like Camavinga is not coming, but Baleba's obviously will be here. So, listen, Arsenal fans, if you want to chat your rubbish, then listen. I've just got to just take it, really. You know what I'm trying to say? Big up to my guy Fitz says, I might have to follow cricket until Bruno fucks off. Still catch me at Old Trafford, just the one by the Met staff. Bro, listen. Yeah, listen. I can't be bothered. Yeah, I cannot be bothered to keep going over this Bruno Fernandes talk, man. It's killing me, honestly. It is killing me because I cannot understand how this guy just keeps surviving season after season. It's very clear, yeah. It's very clear that he's a problem in this team. Is he the only problem? No. But in terms of the style of football, he's a massive problem. Guys, why is it not a surprise, yeah, that as soon as Bruno comes back into the team, we play shit football? Why is that? Someone asked, why is that? Because pre-season, we were knocking the ball around. Why is that? We had different players in that midfield. But as soon as Bruno comes back in, the football changes. Why is that a surprise? And again, Bruno fans Bruno fans, yeah, would be getting on to me right now if he would have got a goal or an assist. And this is what happens. He has a poor 90 minutes, yeah, for the amount of money that he's on. But yeah, if he gets a goal or assist, it gets forgotten about. This is the problem. Big out to Baz One Deva says, what happened? I don't know if you're trying to banter me or not, but yeah, United got beat, man, 2-0. Absolute embarrassing. And big out to Exedra because he called it with the team selection. I wasn't too fussed with the team selection because I knew that Carrick was going to play that. Yeah, because I think a lot of those players are more fitter than some of the others. But I'll tell you this now, that front four with Bruno, it needs to be eradicated. You cannot play that front four. Cannot play that front four, man. It's embarrassing. There's no control in there. There's no control. It's mad. Oh, man. 4-2-4 with Santos, Tillemans, Bruno, Cunha. Is he mad? You know what? Yeah, you know what? What I'm gonna say, yeah, when you're chasing the game, you know what I mean. Sometimes you do put as many attackers on the pitch as possible. Again, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take exception with that with Carrick, because when you're losing the game, yeah, you're just gonna throw on as much attackers as possible. It's obvious. But when he dropped Bruno into midfield with Kobe Minu, yeah, this is part of the problem. Because what happens there, yeah, is that you know what's gonna happen. He will drop Bruno back with Kobe, and then it's all about Bruno putting balls into the box where a Harry Maguire or a Sesko can get onto the end of it. Like, we're resulting to this kind of football in the first game of the season. And this is why I want as many footballers on the pitch as possible. Because this route one tactic is bollocks. At the end of the day, yeah, I'd much rather Man United just keep the ball and build it to lumping the ball in the box for the sake of it. Because that's what we turn into. I'm bored of it. Some people might like it, but I can't stand it. You know what I mean? I can't stand it. First game of the season against Hull, we're resulting to just lumping the ball in the box because we're 2-0 down. How about just keep the ball, tire the opposition out, and build your way into the game? You man ain't won back-to-back titles since the 1930s. Yeah, and it's going to stay that way. You know what I mean? Listen, these guys are going to be chatting rubbish. I can't see Carrick lasting beyond the spring. Mad. I think that's going to be overboard personally. But as I said, next game against Ipswich, yeah, I just hope he's learned. Because if he plays the same team, yeah, I'll be stunned. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to learn from his mistakes, and he's going to change things up. He has to. Gav, I've lost big money on that game. Well, how much did you bet, there, less? How much did you bet on that game? Because I think a lot of people would have as well. There's no way that I saw this game being 2-0 to Hull City. No way. Yeah, listen. Lumi, what was your prediction then on this game? What was your prediction on this game? Listen, I'm not doing this quadruple talk again. Like, you guys tried this last season and you didn't win nothing last season. You know what I mean? You done this last season and won nothing. So we're not going to go there with the quadruple talk again. I think it's quite obvious that you guys don't have the balls to win quadruples. You know what I mean? What pissed me off a lot, alongside other things, is that we try to play long to Mbuemo, who has no hold-up play, and he is like 5'4". Yeah, listen, Mbuemo is better on the shoulder. Yeah, but again, we've got problems with this team. We've got problems in this team because just go through the midfield and the attack. Yeah, we've got Santos, Tillemans, Belebanal, Kobe, Bruno, Ahmad, Mbuemo, Cunha, Dorgu, Rashford, Sesko, and Xerxes. Yeah, you have got 12 players. 12 players, by the way, for 6 positions. And I'll tell you this right now, yeah, it's not even 6 positions, it's 5, because Bruno Fernandes keeps playing. So you've got 12 players for 5 positions, because he wants to play Dorgu as a winger as well. How the hell is that going to work out if you're just hell bent as well on playing one player every single game? Like, and the things with Mbuemo, yeah, I said to you, I don't rate Mbuemo that highly. I never have done, really. I just think he's just, I think Brentford, he looked good at Brentford because of the way Brentford play, and he's someone that gets goals, isn't it? But as a Man United player, I don't rate him. You know, there's people now saying that he's a central forward now, central striker. You know what I'm trying to say? He shouldn't be playing central striker for me, even though like in preseason he was decent, and he shouldn't be playing ahead of Ahmad if we're playing a right winger. So again, there's problems ahead for Carrick in what he's going to do with his team selection. But the fact that we're playing long ball to Mbeumo, again, it's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. You guys already know the team that I will play. I want to see Carrick play this team, but I just don't know if Carrick. I don't think Carrick plays this team. I would love to see a team, yeah, of Lamens in goal, Mazraoui at right back, Dorgu at left back, and then the two centre backs. I would love to see a combination of either Delict or Heaven, Euro Heaven, because that's part of the future. You know, a midfield three of Kobe Manu, Baleba, and Yuri Tillemans. Then you got Santos in there as well, waiting to come in. And then the front three of Ahmad, Xerxes, and Cunha. I want to see Michael Carrick play that sort of team and give it a chance. Because why is it that we have to keep watching, you know, a front four of Bruno, Cunha, Rashford, Mbeumo, Sesko, but yet we never get to see the technicians play? Why is that? We just see the same old shit. I'd much rather play that team I've just said, and then if it's not working, you bring on your players that are more, you know, they're more dangerous without the ball in terms of the running in the channels against tired legs. I'd much rather see that. But we just keep seeing the same shit, yeah, and getting the same results, innit? And again, it's frustrating because, you know, Carrick has done well since he's come into the club. But if you're going to just keep reverting to the same old shit, man, it's boring. I'm actually bored of it now, you know? Gav, there's some very uneducated people who can't even say fans. Yeah, mods, listen, if anyone's talking shit, just block them. Just time them out or block them. Ain't got time for it. If no one's contributing to the chat, then just time them out, man. Because these guys are likely coming from Twitter or something like that. And we know what Twitter's about. So mods, just block them if they're talking rubbish. Just block them. Time them out or something. Gav, just admit now that we win the league. Please don't embarrass yourself for a second season. So, seeing as the title's vacant, yeah, I said it already. Arsenal are the favourites as it stands. They are the favourites. They're the favourites because they've got one of the longest serving managers, and they've got a team that's probably been together the longest. So, just based off of that, they're the favourites. But am I going to say they win the league? No, I'm not. They haven't done back-to-back in how long? Since the 1930s. So just relax. That's all I would say. But yeah, you guys are the favourites as it stands. But, you know what I mean? You played Coventry City first game. And let's face it, all three goals, really. I look at all three of them goals that they were given to you. You know, if that was against a team that's been in the Premier League for a couple of seasons, the 3 goals you scored, I don't believe happens. Because they were all defensive mistakes and a goalkeeping mistake. And it seemed like championship level of what I was seeing. So, but listen, you guys got the 3 points and that's all that matters for you guys. So you ain't going to care about all that. Funny enough, Gav, this was the exact same performance against AC Milan and same tactics. Yeah. And again, but who was the front four? Because I don't think it was. I think did Ahmad play? Did Ahmad play on the right hand side? I want to say it was Ahmad. I don't think Cunha played. Yeah. But all I want you guys to realize, yeah, all I want you guys to realize, is there any surprise how this same performance was against AC Milan today, and there's one player that has come back into the lineup that plays 90 minutes every week? Just work it out for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? But then next week, Carrick's going to play him again, and then he might get a goal and assist, and it all gets forgotten about until the same thing happens again. I'm bored of it. So yeah, man, two results that I've done so far. I've drawn a blank. I done Arsenal and Coventry 1-1, and I done United to beat Hull City 3-0 or 3-1. So yeah, it's not looking good, man. Not looking good. We won't go unbeaten, but we are losing 2 or 3 games this season. Listen, I can't even argue if Lumi wants to get excited, because at this moment in time, she's on cloud 9, isn't it? She's on cloud 9. 3-0 against a recently promoted team. So look, listen, she's gonna just run away with it. So I can't even blame her, man. But let's see, innit? Yeah, big up, man. Listen, I touched on this earlier, yeah? It's either Carrick is a coward or it's club politics. Xerxes not getting a sniff. Structurally, we look bad. 100%. Couldn't disagree. Yeah? And this is the thing. The reason why I haven't gone too much on Joshua Xerxes, because you guys know how I rate Joshua Xerxes anyway. Yeah? He didn't come on because I believe, and to give Carrick some sort of credit, yeah, I believe Carrick thought the game wasn't going in a way which would have suited Xerxes. That's the only reason, because we were losing 2-0. So I'm thinking that he's not going to bring on Xerxes because it wasn't the kind of game for him. I can only believe that. If he didn't bring Xerxes on for politics, yeah, then he's a coward. And I think Carrick showed a cowardly attitude when he took off Patrick Dorgu to bring on Marcus Rashford. That was a coward's move, that, because the team's getting beat. You got Bruno Fernandes moaning at Patrick Dorgu, and because Dorgu's is the youngest as well in that front line, he's the easier one to take off for someone who's the highest earner. And if that's the case, yeah, I don't rate that, not one bit. And I think that's what Carrick's done, by the way. So again, I want to see what he does next game, because to think, yeah, that we ended the game with Luke Shaw, Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford. I'm bored of that. Like, we need to get away from that crap here and start moving in a serious direction, because it's just boring now doing this same old shit. Same old shit. And then Sesko comes on. And as you can see, guys, I don't want to hear no one tell me, yeah, that Sesko's not fit. Because if that was Joshua Xerxes coming on and he done what Sesko done, there's no one that's saying that Xerxes not fit. You'll be saying Xerxes shit. So again, when Sesko came on, I didn't even know Sesko come on the pitch. He was that anonymous. So yeah, it is on Carrick. I agree. It's definitely on Carrick today. 100% it is. But again, I'm not going to crash it on Carrick, because I believe he'll make changes next game, and he has to. Baleba's not going to be in for this next game, but I believe Kobe starts next game. But it's what he's going to do with the midfield. And I reckon this is what he does in the midfield, yeah? He's going to play Bruno again. So I reckon he plays Kobe. I think he might drop Santos and play Kobe and Tillemans and Bruno against Ipswich at home. I think he might do something like that. Gav, I can't even mention Mbuemo around the missus. She says he's bollocks. Listen, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Listen, I don't want to crash it on Mbuemo, yeah? But I'm sorry, yeah? He should be a bench player for Manchester United. He should be. I'd have him off the bench. Come off the bench, tired legs. You know, he's a sharp shooter. Cool. When I see him starting games, I'm never confident, really. This ain't Brentford. This is Manchester United, yeah? And I don't want to see him starting games, really. Because apart from scoring goals, what does he actually offer, Brian Mbuemo, really? Not a lot. So listen, your missus is spot on, man. I mean, I wouldn't go as far and say he's bollocks, but you know what I mean? He should definitely be on the bench for me, man. There's no way he should be starting games for Manchester United. No way. United have messed up by missing out on Iraola. Nah, listen, I think that's too early to say that, man. I mean, it's easy to be saying that, but yeah, it's too premature, man, for that. Crazy, man. So AC Milan game was Dorgu, Ahmad, Cunha, and Bruno. So Brian for Ahmad. I mean, I'm looking at, you got one player there in Ahmad who's a ball possession based player. Cunha is a maverick. Bruno is hoofball, and Dorgu is a bit of both. So yeah, and then whoa, there you go, yeah. The only change, I mean, yeah, we got beat by AC Milan, but then Mbuemo comes in for Ahmad, and it's even worse. And that was the front line today. That's never going to work, that front line. And I hope Carrick can see that. I'll be very disappointed, yeah, just because we're at home, he goes and plays that same team. Gav, what should Carrick do differently? Change the team up. We need to have more ball possession based players as possible. That team today, yeah, especially the front four, they're not all they're not ball possession players. Tillemans and Andre Santos are. They want to keep the ball. But having four players that are more players that want to play without the ball is a problem. It's a problem. And I'm bored of saying the same thing, man. It's just the same shit all the time. So let's see if he changes it. You know what I mean? Facts, Gav. Sesko did not offer anything, but goals will abstain him from responsibility. I like Sesko, but he ain't levels like that. Sesko is an impact sub. He is. There's fans out there that want Sesko to start the game. He ain't good enough to be starting for Man United week in, week out. He's not. But he's a useful squad player. Because for me, Sesko does his best work against tired legs. Because he's very athletic, very good in the air. You know, he wants to run the channels. When you've got a player like that, just use them for what they're strong at. Off the bench against tired legs. When he starts games, it's not a coincidence why he doesn't really play that well. And again, come off the bench today, he didn't do anything, guys. So I'm sorry to say, yeah, Benjamin Sesko is more useful as an impact sub, not starting games. Vivell needs to be, what's this? Vivell needs to be sacked, spending 50 million on bang average Santos, 75 on Sesko, 30 million on Dorgu, and Heaven needs a loan. The Vivell experiment has failed. We need a proper DOF. Probably the worst comment I've seen, by the way. The worst comment I've seen. I'll tell you why it's a worst comment, yeah? Dorgu didn't cost 30 million. He didn't cost 30 million. I don't know where that's come from. Yeah? Even if we're being picky, yeah, Santos cost 48 million, but that's cool, yeah. Santos is 21. Benjamin Sesko is 23, I think he might be. Dorgu's like 19 or 20, and Heaven's just turned 19. Heaven doesn't need a loan. Heaven's already shown, yeah, that he can be starting games for Manchester United. Both of the goals weren't Heaven's fault, by the way. So I don't know why Heaven's getting criticism. Doesn't make any sense. Dorgu, for me, I prefer Dorgu at left back. But again, Carrick likes him further forward. And the facts are, yeah, if we don't get a left back, yeah, how are you going to fit Dorgu and all these other attackers into the lineup? I know we've got a lot of football to play, yeah, but if you're always going to be content on playing a certain player, I want to know how Carrick's going to fit all these players together and keep them happy. That's what I want to know, yeah. Sesko, we've spoken about already. Sesko for me is an impact sub, and yeah. So again, I think that's harsh saying that it's bang average on Santos, Sesko, Dorgu, and Heaven. I think that's because Man United got beat. That's just easy to go and say that. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Because the same people that are saying 50 million on bang average Santos, 75 on Sesko, 30 on Dorgu, and Heaven needs a loan. Where was you when Elliot Anderson was stinking it up in the Community Shield? Where was you? Because he cost 116 million. That's not a 116 million pound player there. So again, I think that's just easy to say. Because United got beat. I think Xerxes goes to Villa from the look of things. I'll be honest with you, yeah. If Xerxes went to Aston Villa, that's a very good move for him. I don't want Xerxes going anywhere, by the way, because until I see Xerxes being given a fair run of games, Xerxes for me shouldn't be going anywhere. You know, there's fans out there that don't rate Xerxes because he doesn't score goals. Yeah. Again, we've been through that already. But Xerxes hasn't been given a chance to play really regularly because he's playing the Premier League and the majority of fans just like these crash bang wallop kind of footballers. That's the problem. That's the problem. Xerxes wasn't playing today. And look how bad the attack looked. Look how bad the attack looked, yeah, without Xerxes playing. Again, Marcus Rashford comes off the bench. Yeah, he looks direct. But that's all he looked was direct. You know, the battle against the right backs for the guy that come on, I forgot his name, Cody Drameh, yeah, was a good battle. There's people on Twitter telling me that he's gonna come and change Carrick's life off the bench. It's like these guys don't watch football, unfortunately. They're just on a bandwagon. They're on a bandwagon. And look at that. Ipswich beating Sunderland 1-0 now. And we got Ipswich next game. Not going to be easy. So, yeah, listen, if Xerxes goes to Villa, it's a great move for him, I believe. Yeah, I believe if he does go there, Unai Emery, yeah, will play in a way that suits him. Because there's fans out there that think he's not number 9. Like, it doesn't make sense. He's a number 9, but it's about knowing how to use him. He's a number 9 that can play as a number 10. But if you're going to play counter-attacking football, the likes of Xerxes and Ahmad, it's not going to suit them. If we want to keep the ball, play more possession-based, it means getting rid of Bruno and getting rid of Bruno from that lineup and playing more possession-based and playing as much highly technically players as possible. That's what should happen. But I've got faith Xerxes will stay. But him not coming on today, I'm gonna look at it as Carrick decided this ain't the game to bring him on. But next game, I want to see him figure. That's what I want to see. And if I'm Xerxes as well, yeah, I just hope Xerxes having words behind closed doors with Carrick to find out where he stands in this team. Manu should get Darwin Núñez. I rated him, causes chaos. Nah, Darwin Núñez is shit. And Darwin Núñez is in Saudi anyway. He's just gone to another Saudi team, but he's rubbish. Again, I don't want to see these Darwin Núñez's, these sorts of players at my club. You know, these guys are just pace merchants. They're not doing nothing. Yeah, he works hard, but Man United don't need a striker that works hard. Like, get rid of this nonsense from the fan base. This is why we're in the mess we're in terms of how we've been in the last 10 years, because the wrong players are being put forward by a lot of fans that don't really get it, you know. So I'm not here for no Darwin Núñez. Let's all laugh at Gav for thinking Man United will win the league. Verbic, when did I show me proof when I said United will win the league? I said we'll challenge for the league. Didn't say we'll win it. It's a big difference. Yeah. So listen, you can laugh all you want. Yeah, but at least tell the truth, innit? I never said we're winning the league. I said we can compete for the league, providing we get our signings right. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So let's get it right, man. Let's get it right. You're the same guy that wanted Lundberg in an all-time 11 today and said that we're hating on Lundberg but couldn't even spell his name right. You know what I mean? So come on, let's not do that. Gav's hating on Núñez because he's a pace merchant, but he forgot about Dorgu. I don't know what Dorgu's got to do with Núñez, by the way. And again, I wanted Dorgu at left back. You know what I mean? Would you take Núñez at Arsenal? Would you? Well, tell lie, you probably would, because you've got bloody Victor Gyökeres in your front line. So I can't even blame you, man. So you probably would. But listen, there's no hate, man. There's no hate in his body, man. Don't need to have any hate in my body. I just call things as I see it, you know. And do I want Darwin Núñez? Hell no. Hell no. And again, he's just gone to a new club in Saudi anyway, so it's not going to happen. Guys, make sure you're smashing that like button as well. Guys, how many likes have we got so far? Make sure you smash that like button when you come through. And make sure if you're new in there, you sub as well, if you enjoy the chat. Right, let's go through, yeah? Let's go through player performances, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, Lamens in goal. Again, I'm going to give Lamens, and I'm quite harsh with my ratings as well, guys, yeah? I'm going to give Lamens I'm going to give him a 7. I think Lamens made a good save from McBurney. I don't think Lamens done anything wrong. The first goal that Hull actually scored, he actually done well to save the first one. But then this is where you rely on your defenders to be there to kind of bail you out. So again, I thought he was a strong 7. The second goal he had no chance with. You know, that was a great ball in. And to be fair, a good header. Goals like that, it's hard to stop, really, you know. So I'll give him a 7. Mazraoui, for me, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I thought Mazraoui was very good. If you look at the first half as well, he was instrumental, yeah, in terms of the ball that got put in at the back post and the way he cleared it with the header. And I thought in possession, you know, he was tidy in possession as well. I think going forwards, he's better defensively than he is going forwards, you know. And I think this is why I would have liked us to get rid of Dalot and bring in an attacking right back in the summer, but that's not going to happen. And unfortunately, we're going to have to look forward to watching either him or Dalot this season. So there's no point in getting on. We're not going for a right back. Left back Luke Shaw. Again, Luke Shaw, yeah, is very tidy on the ball. Never going to say he's not, yeah. But in terms of a modern day fullback, he just ain't that. He's not a modern day fullback. You know, he doesn't want to go higher than the halfway line at times, you know. So Man United, for me, do bring in a left back. You know, you guys already know that I prefer Dorgu playing there, but I think Carrick sees him as an attacker. And unless we bring in a left back, there was links to Balde. I think Balde would be a very good player for United, but I don't know if Barca will let him go. David Raum, I'm seeing a few shouts. Obviously, Lewis Hall, Anthony Robinson, I'm hearing. But there's no doubt in here that we need, or even the other guys who've been linked to, Joaquin Says at Club Brugge, and then the other guy in Spain, I forgot his name. But there's no doubt in that we need a left back, an attacking left back, if it's not going to be Patrick Dorgu. But I thought Luke Shaw on the ball, decent, but attacking wise, and to me, he seems very passive as well, Luke Shaw. So I'm going to give him a 6. I don't think he was terrible, but in terms of what you want a left back to do, and if you look at the fact of what Hull City's left back was doing, that's what we want Luke Shaw to be doing. So I'll give Luke Shaw a 6. Aiden Heaven, again, Heaven wasn't at fault for any goal. On the ball, you can see how good Heaven is on the ball. He's very, very good on the ball, yeah? And what I would say as well, Heaven's passing is very good. You know, if you look at the way he passes in between the lines, very good. Very, very good. So I'm going to give Heaven a 6. You know, I don't think he was outstanding, but he wasn't terrible. And he was good for me. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give a 6 as well. Again, Harry Maguire for me, you know, there was at times when, you know, you could probably say he was Man United's most dangerous attacker. And that's only because of the long balls that were going into the box. And as we know, he's very good in the air. People were saying that he should have had command of his box a bit more for the second goal, or maybe for the first one. But again, I think it's just getting onto Harry Maguire for the sake of it. I don't think Maguire was terrible, but then he's part of a team that conceded 2 goals. And again, even though I don't think they were solely on him, I couldn't think of anything outstanding or anything that he done majorly wrong. So I think just like Heaven, give him a 6. Moving on to the midfield, Yuri Tillemans by his standards, you know, as we know with Tillemans a very good passer of the ball, but there was times he was getting caught, you know, maybe because he's playing too deep, and I think it's that. I think Tillemans would much prefer playing in a free or playing where Bruno does, higher up the pitch. But he wasn't great today, Yuri Tillemans. He weren't great today. Was he the worst player on the pitch? Not for me. So I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I don't think he was terrible, but he weren't great. He weren't great today. He wasn't. You know, no, actually, you know what? I'll probably give him a 5. I think by his standards, I'll give him a 5 because I think he should have been a lot better. But it happens, isn't it? Andre Santos, I'm going to give a 6 as well. I think in the first half, you know, he was playing well. You know, he was keeping the ball moving, interceptions, reading the game, and I thought, along with Mazraoui, I thought he was arguably our best player in the first half, even though we were losing the game. So I'm going to give him a 6. But again, first game of the season for United in the Premier League. And I think he can only build from this. You know, that's what I will say. Bruno Fernandes. And again, I'm basing this on, the fact that he's one of the highest earners at the club. Because if you're one of the highest earners at the club, I expect to be seeing a lot better performance, leading your team. As we know with Bruno, Bruno's not a leader. He's not a leader. Bruno plays very much for himself. Now, he never masked it up today with a goal or an assist, because I guarantee you, if Man United would have lost this game, but Bruno would have got a goal or an assist, you would have seen people coming into the chat or in general just saying Bruno's done his job. So again, no goal, no assist, and he had no impact in the game. No impact in the game whatsoever. So I'm going to give Bruno a 5 because based on how much money he's getting paid, based on that he wants even more money, by the way, he was poor today. And as I keep telling you guys, he is a massive problem for this football club. I don't care who wants to argue about it. He's a massive problem for this football club. And until people wake up and realize, Man United as a club with him keep playing are doing nothing. They're doing nothing of note until this player gets moved on. It's that simple. Patrick Dorgu. I'll give Dorgu a 5. And again, Dorgu for me, I'm gonna give him a 5 because not because of his effort, not because of the fact that he did look at times one of our most dangerous attackers in the first half, but it's because sometimes he was overdoing it. You know, whether he was picking the wrong pass or over dribbling. So I think by his standards, he wasn't great. And I think a 5 is probably fair enough to give him. But I haven't got no worries about Dorgu because Dorgu has shown that he's a very good player. He is. As I said, since Carrick's come to the club, he's been one of our best players since he's come. Obviously, he picked up the injury towards the end of the season, last season. Pre-season has been very good. My thing with Dorgu is where does his long-term position lie? That's what I want to know. Is he going to be a right winger? Is he going to be a left winger? Is he going to be a left back? These are the questions that Carrick's got to answer. But I think a 5 is fair. Matthias Cunha. You know what I want to say about Matthias Cunha, yeah? It wouldn't surprise me if Matthias Cunha slyly is disillusioned with life at Manchester United already. And I'll tell you why, yeah? He was given a number 10 shirt at Manchester United, taking it off Rashford. As we know, yeah, he's a number 10 that can play on the left and as a false 9. He is now being seen as a jack of all trades, but a master of none. He plays 10, he plays on the left, he plays on the right, he plays as a false 9. Jack of all trades, master of none. And that's not that is not to criticize Cunha, yeah, because Cunha has strengths. He's someone that you can't you can't afford to take your eye off Cunha because he like in any minute he can make things happen, yeah. But he is suffering from the fact that he has to play everywhere but where he plays. There's no surprising, yeah, how the best chance that United had in this game was Mbeumo with the shot. It come from a Cunha pass because Cunha wants to be picking up the ball in those areas. But yet he's got to deal with who? Bruno Fernandes playing in that position. So I keep telling you guys this, yeah. Do not expect the likes of Cunha and Ahmad and all these other players to be playing to their capabilities when you've got someone who hogs everything in Bruno Fernandes. So again, by Cunha's standards, a 5, because he just couldn't get into the game. There was no rhythm to the game either for him. So yeah, and again, he played on the right-hand side when Rashford came on. Piss take, really. That's a piss take by Carrick, because you mean to tell me, yeah, Cunha played the whole season last season, and then Rashford just comes back and Rashford comes onto the pitch onto the left-hand side that Cunha's been playing, and he now has to go onto the right-hand side. So when you're getting moved around like this all the time, how can you get continuity and confidence? It's crazy. Brian Mbeumo we spoke about already. As I said, if Mbeumo's not scoring a goal, what does he actually do? And the answer is not a lot. He's good in the press, to be fair, but I need more than that, to be honest with you. And the thing is with Brian Mbeumo is, where do you play him? Right wing or as a striker? These are the questions Carrick's got to answer. For me, he's a bench player. For me, he's a bench player. And that's not a disgrace yet, because having him come off the bench is a good option. But he's a bench player for me. Let's look at the subs that came on. Who came on? Kobbie Mainoo come on. Again, Kobbie, as we know what he does, he keeps the ball moving. I want to see Kobbie further forward, though, because Kobbie Mainoo playing as a 6 or as a 6 more or less, especially when Bruno's there, yeah. It's like Kobbie's like the 6 and Bruno's just there to spam balls. I want to see Kobbie being given the license that Bruno gets, where Kobbie can just pick up the ball in any area and showcase his ability. Because for too long, this guy has to play as a deep lying midfielder. I want to see him play a bit more attacking wise. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but when he come on, just give him a 6, because he weren't bad, you know what I mean? But he wasn't the difference maker in the sense of getting us back into the game. Kobe does what he does, and that's keep the ball, keep it moving, and show his quality. Marcus Rashford, the game we spoke about, direct on the ball. Didn't really do anything different to what Dorgu was doing. He was just direct. That's all he did, And as I said, just like Bruno, you've got the two highest earners at the club. You'd expect a lot more from both of them, So I'm going to give him an average 6 for coming on, Shea Lacey didn't have much time to impact, even though I do like Shea Lacey. At 6. Benjamin Sesko was anonymous. I didn't even know he was on the pitch. That's how bad it was. I think he had a header, and I think he had a chance in the box where he couldn't sort his feet out. So again, I spoke about him already. Just give him a modest 6. Dallo, didn't notice him when he came on. A 6. I mean, if you're a bench player and you don't really make an impact, just give him a 6. You know what I'm trying to say? I think that was it who come on. I think. No Lenny Yoro today. Didn't come on. Obviously, Ahmad won in the squad. No Xerxes we spoke about as well. So, yeah, man, it's frustrating. But what I will tell you, man, is it needs to be a lot better against Ipswich, because that Ipswich game, if we play like that, it's not going to be easy. That's what I will tell you. Let's see. Gav, I'll be real. Raum is a must. I'm tired of Shaw's pedestrian box defending. Yeah, listen. Raum is not my first choice. He's not. But if there's a possibility of getting him, then cool. But you know what I'm gonna say, yeah? How do we even know if David Raum comes into the club, Luke Shaw doesn't get dropped? I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, yeah, that Luke Shaw gets dropped, by the way. Luke Shaw is on 180. He's the highest paid fullback in world football. Yeah. He played 38 games last season. I don't think we should be confident if a new left back comes in and then he gets dropped. Because personally, I don't know if that happens. Because there's a lot of things that I want Carrick to do and it doesn't happen. So I just don't know, man. It's frustrating, as I said. I think Balde wants to stay at Barca. Yeah, he does. I'll be very surprised if Barca let him go. I know they've got João Cancelo coming in, and Cancelo's a right back that can play left back, but they got Koundé there as well. So if Hansi Flick's looking at Koundé and Cancelo as his starting fullbacks, then Balde might look at it as a loan option. If we can get Balde on loan, that would be good business. But who knows, man? Who knows what happens? Mbuemo is a bench player, but play him centrally, keep him away from build up as much as possible. I hear it. But the only thing I would say, yeah, if you're gonna play Mbuemo centrally, yeah, then is he gonna be the starting player centrally all the time? You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what's in Carrick's thinking. That's what I want to say. I don't know who starts for Carrick regularly apart from Bruno at the moment. You know what I'm trying to say? Bruno plays every game. Like he's the captain. It's annoying. But what happens next game? Does he start Mazraoui or Dallo? If we get a left back in time, do they come in and start ahead of Shaw? Does Harry Maguire retain his place? Yoro's still on the bench. The Lick's still coming back. Does Martinez come back in now because we lost and replace Heaven? What's the midfield going to be? Obviously, Baleba's not fit. Is he going to play? Is Kobe now starting back in the midfield? Who's he going to be alongside? Andre Santos or Yuri Tillemans? We know he's going to play Bruno. Will Ahmad be back? Is Ahmad going to play on the right-hand side, or would it be Mbuemo? Is he going to play Dorgu out there? Or is he going to play Cunha out there? You know, who's the striker? Would it be Mbuemo? Would it be Sesko come back off injury? Will Xerxes get a chance? Who's going to play on the left-hand side? Does Rashford sneak his way back into it? So again, we've got so many players, and I can only tell you confidently that Carrick plays 2 players no matter what, in my eyes, from what I can see, and that's Sene Lamens and Bruno Fernandes. There's massive problems, guys, ahead. Massive problems. So I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. But listen, we're gonna wrap it up anyway. Big up to all the mods coming through. Big up to everyone coming through early today as well for the all-time 11. Manchester United lose 2-0 to Hull City. And listen, it's a poor start, man. That's what I'm going to say. Very, very poor start. And again, we are going to be live on Monday with myself, Jonas, and Fitz for our Northwest Divide. And listen, if you want to crash it on me for the Man United loss, then it is what it is. You've got to take it. But the one thing that I'm going to say, yeah, is I just want Michael Carrick to learn from this game, because that team he cannot play again, especially that front line. And if he doesn't play that front line and changes things up, I'll be like, you know what? I'll look at this game as a blip, and he's learned. But if he goes with the same lineup against Ipswich, I'll be disappointed, put it that way. But let's wait and see, man. And again, Premier League is kicked off now. Obviously, Arsenal kicking it off yesterday, 3-0 against Coventry. United losing 2-0. Obviously, the other games today, Liverpool, Newcastle tomorrow at 4 p.m. So, yeah, let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. But, yeah, as I said, guys, next week, the structure will be on. So, Northwest Divide on Monday at 5 p.m. Then I've got my Devil's Advocate or the stream with Clockenders, who's an Arsenal fan. That'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday. And then Thursday, myself and Fitz, which is our United Uncensored, just pure United talk. And then Saturday, our all-time 11, every other week. We're going to look at doing that. And then obviously there'll be other stuff coming through as well during the week. And again, you know, if there's any other fans that of other clubs that want to jump on the stream one time as well, even if you're a United fan and you want to have a discussion about United, you know, you might defend Bruno Fernandes and Rashford and other players. You know, if you want to jump on one time, just let me know. And yeah, man. So there'll be more structure coming to the channel. And again, I'll be putting some stuff as well up on the members section of just some different things on there, of some skills and some drills that I'll be doing as well. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Again, that'll be up on the members section. And yeah, as I said, guys, there's a lot of structure, more structure coming to the channel this season as well. And again, if you want to join the prediction league as well, make sure you get your predictions in, which is on the Discord. So Fitz has got the link for the Discord. And obviously the link for that prediction is in the Discord. So yeah, if you guys want to get involved, you have to do it every Friday before 12 o'clock. You know, so yeah, if you guys want to get involved in the channel, then by all means come through to the Discord and interact as well. But yeah, other than that, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel. And guys, before I forget, I am going to be doing watch-alongs as well. So the watch-alongs, I was going to do one today, but I've got something planned for you guys for the next watch-along. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But yeah, as always, smash the like button, sub to the channel. And yeah, make sure you keep coming through, man, and supporting the channel as always. Big up to yourselves. Man United lose, but listen, on to next week. Big up, and I'll catch you guys in a bit.